It looks so delectable.
Make me sweat, make me harder, make me lose my breath, make me water. Normally.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Linda See Me here. Do you see me? Because I see you, boo. So on today's video, we're going to be talking about all things full coverage. I am coming to you guys laid bare. I have no makeup on my face, nothing apart from Vaseline on my lips, and I want to talk to you guys step by step in a beginner friendly way how to cover up your hyperpigmentation, your acne scarring, and things of that nature, and how to have a flawless base, very seamless and flawless base without any scarring or marcation. I'm someone who has tried so many items and so many products to try to perfect this, so I know what I'm talking about. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to grab your primer. I'm using this one by e.l.f. This is the Power Grip Primer. I absolutely love this primer. This one is being compared to the Milk Hydro Grip. Now that primer actually broke me out on my T-zone because of the hyaluronic acid. Me and hyaluronic acid do not get along categorically. So you want to start off with the primer. I'm using this one. Oh, do you guys like my Christmas nails? Aren't they so cute? So once your primer is on, the next step is color correcting. I'm using this one from LA Girl. This is in the color orange. I'm going to use this to color correct and put it all over my scarring that I have on my face, and making sure to focus it specifically on the scarring and nowhere else. So apart from the dark spots that I have, other areas of discoloration are around my mouth, under my eyes, so I'll make sure to get that, and also the corners of my nose as well, like that. Pretty much my whole face. And then you want to blend. I'm going to be taking, one of my favorite brushes for this is something that's quite dense. So I'm using the Morphe M173 brush to blend everything out. Can you see the difference? Yeah, it's lit. I genuinely love color correcting. I will say I don't color correct all the time, but when I want to have a full beat, full coverage, and I'm going somewhere special, then I will do it. So we're just going to blend. Okay, now that you look like an orange pumpkin, you want to use a foundation that is full coverage. Now, my favorite foundation to use when I want a full coverage is this one by Kat Von D. This one is the Good Apple foundation, and I'm using it in the color 078 Tan. Honestly, this is the best foundation I've used this year. And genuinely, if you have minimal scarring or hyperpigmentation, then this would be perfect for you, because you genuinely don't even need to like color correct or conceal or anything like that. So I'm going to use a few pumps of this foundation from Kat Von D, making sure I apply a generous amount, but you don't want it to be too cakey. And then I'm taking, again, one thing about full coverage is that you want to make sure that you're using dense brushes, because when you, for example, use a stippling brush, something like a stippling brush, a brush like this is used when you want natural coverage, but a brush like this, a very dense foundation brush, is used when you want full coverage and when you want the coverage to be concentrated. As you can see, the bristles on this is quite sparse, so it will kind of go everywhere, but with this it's quite concentrated and compact into one place, so it will make sure that the foundation stays in one place, or the place that you've actually applied it. So I'm using this brush from Morphe again. It's the Morphe M439 brush. So I'm just going to be using that to blend my foundation into my skin. I am so in love with this foundation. Like, the coverage is amazing, and I feel like the color match is insane. Like, isn't that my, it might be a tad too dark, but I would rather it to be dark than to be too light for me, to be quite honest. And I always bring it down to my neck because I also have discoloration on my neck. Wow, that coverage is fantastic, honestly. Like, let's not have that one crazy. Now, one thing about me, I usually leave my eyelids as they are because my eyelids are quite dark, and I kind of use my dark eyelids as an eyeshadow hat, but today we're going to be covering them up, so I'm applying the foundation on my eyelids as well. And you want to make sure when you blend that you're not dragging the brush, that you're dabbing. Like, you're not dragging it but dabbing it in concentrated areas, as I'm doing now. There is absolutely no scarring inside. Do you understand? And we're not even halfway done. On camera, I know it's giving like, it's giving a green undertone, but I promise you it's not. This undertone is quite warm when it dries, but when it applies, I would say it's quite golden. So the next step is concealer, and I use two concealers. So the first one is from Sephora, and it's called the Best Skin Ever Concealer in the color 46, and it looks like this. I am so in love with it, and the coverage is insane. And then I use another concealer, which is a bit lighter, in the color 5N from Kaya. So I'm gonna be applying that under my eyes, on my chin, on my forehead, and also my nose. And because we want the snatch look, we're gonna be dragging the concealer upwards. Dragging it upwards. Cupid's bow. And then you want to add the lighter concealer in the inner corners of the eyes. I kind of bring my concealer a bit further down with the lighter colour. Like so. And also add it to the side. Again, it's really important what kind of brush you use at this stage. I'm someone who has been using beauty blenders for a while now in order to blend my concealer. But one thing about the beauty blenders is that they absorb the foundation or the concealer that you're using. I think this is perfect for if you have applied foundation, you realize that it's a lot, and then you kind of want to smooth it out and make it look like there's less than what actually is there. So then you use the beauty blender to basically soak up the remaining foundation. In this part, however, I don't want to use a beauty blender for my concealer because I want full coverage. So I'm going to be using one of my favorite brushes for concealers recently, which is again another Morphe. Morphe, sponsor me, let's talk. It's like a tapered, what would you call that? It's kind of tapered for powder, I would say, but I use it for my concealer. So I'm just going to be using this to gently blend out my concealer, and this can take some time, so you want to make sure that you're allowing yourself time if you want full coverage, because full coverage doesn't just happen really quickly. You have to make sure that you work the products in, basically blending in small sections and working your way up. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the inner parts of my eye and then blend outwards. So you want to blend, blend, blend. You know that when you're doing your makeup and you can just feel that the makeup is going to come out great, like it's going to be a good beat. This is going to be a good beat. I can feel it, I can see it. It's going to be great. And one thing I love about this brush is that it's palpable. Like it's basically like you can kind of make it into whatever shape you want it to be. Because like right now, I'm kind of angling it to get the inner corners of my eye. And I can also use it like that on the larger parts of my under eye. Just look at that coverage. Delectable, chef's kiss. One thing that I've learned over the years, a mistake that I've been making, is that I'm rushing my foundation, I'm rushing my makeup, and then it doesn't turn out the way that I want it to turn out. But if you just take your time, step by step, once you perfect your makeup routine, it won't take as long as it used to. Because I remember my makeup used to take like an hour 30 minutes. But now I can get the same coverage, if not better, in half that time, you know? So you just want to continue blending, and I won't hold you guys here for the blending part. Let's just blend. I'm going to blend my concealer and then I'll be back. Next, I'm going to be taking my contour stick from Fenty Beauty in the color Espresso. You want to make sure that you're not too harsh when applying this. Apply this really gently so that you're not ruining the work that you've just done. So I'm applying it under my cheekbones, on my jawline, and also on the side of my head, and also my forehead, like so. Again, making sure to be as gentle as possible when you apply it, because you don't want to undo the work that you've just done. I'm extra, so I also apply it on my top lip, underneath. And then now it's time for the nose contour, which again, that's a separate video. I'll quickly contour, not talking through it, just gonna do it as I do it. But I'll explain in more detail what I do when I do a separate video about my nose contour, because it does take a while. This is another Morphe brush. Again, I don't know the number, but it's dense, as you can see. So the more dense a brush is, the more coverage you're gonna get. So I'm just blending out my contour, taking my time with it, blending it upwards into my hairline. And then also blending the jawline contour. Again, making sure to tap and not rub. Like literally just tapping to blend. Multiple tapping motions. I'm gonna fast forward my nose contour and then we'll be back. For blush, I'm gonna be taking my Rare Beauty blush in the color. So this is in the color Wisdom from Rare Beauty. Look how cute their concealers are, guys. Like, you just can't go wrong with Rare Beauty, honestly. I remember when I was in Sephora and I was looking for Rare Beauty and I couldn't find it. And then next thing you know, I got a package from them and it was their blushes, and I was like, God's timing. And they're so sweet over there, like, I love them. So I'm gonna be using the color Wisdom and applying it on my cheeks and kind of lifting it up towards my cheekbones. So starting from the cheeks and all the way up to my cheekbones. I just love that lifted blush look, so kind of like a step going upwards like that. More focus towards the bottom and decreasing as we go up. And then doing the same on the other side. So then I'm taking my large powder brush from Sigma, and it's in the number F30. And I'm just gonna be using that to blend the blush. And one thing about me, when it comes to doing my foundation and my base, I always use my liquid products first, and then I set last. That's always how I've done my makeup, and that's the best way to guarantee full coverage. So cute. It's just a subtle glow, you know? A subtle, like, you've just been pinched in your cheeks, you know? Cute! So now that we've done all the liquids, it's time to set. Now, this is where it could go really wrong if you're not careful with, number one, the tools that you're using and the products that you're using, okay? So one of my favorite translucent powders of late has been the Huda Beauty Banana Bread Powder. It's the Easy Bake powder. It's the Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder in the color Banana Bread. I love this one. And then I've also recently been loving the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Complexion Perfecting Micro Powder in the color 2 medium. So I use the Huda Beauty first, and then I will finally set with my Charlotte Tilbury. But it's really important that you're using good quality translucent powders, otherwise your makeup can look cakey, your under eyes can start creasing. Now, one thing about under eyes, let's be honest, they have natural creases under there. I don't think there's a way to 100% avoid them, but if you use good quality products, then you can get a flawless finish. Okay, with that being said, I'm going to be using my beauty blender to actually set my concealer. So I'm going in with a Huda Beauty powder. And one thing about me, I know there's people that tend to pat it on their palm and then apply it on their face, but I like to just apply it right away because I just like the look of it, and I feel like it gives me more coverage, because once you apply it at the back of your hand, it does take away the product. But for me, I feel like I love the look. You just, guys, it looks like I'm on Photoshop. Like, it looks like my camera lens is Photoshop. Don't play with me, don't play with me. That coverage is elite. Are you guys seeing that? Look at the difference. We need a moment of silence, because this is insane. And that's why I don't like passing it behind my hand. I just like taking the full coverage that I get from the powder and applying it right on my face. That's just what I do. I know that we all do our makeup in different ways, but this is what works for me, and I love it, and I just want to share it, you know. Oh, gorgeous. It's just succulent. It's just gorgeous. It's just muy bueno. Por favor, me gusta. Need I say more? Like, I don't need to say much. I could just do my makeup in silence from now, because I've already showed you guys that it's lit, you know. So I'm just gonna add this to my chin as well. Gotta set the chin. My top lip, well, Cupid's bow. We call it the Cupid's bow, darling. And then the forehead as well. And with my forehead, I don't use a lot. About this much. And just press it in. Like so. And then with my nose, I just place the excess of what I have remaining on there. We're not looking casket ready now, no, but I know that we're looking a bit ashy. That's fine. We're going to be using our setting spray now. I'm using this one from Revolution. It's the Matte Fix Oil Control Fixing Spray. I'm just going to use 2 pumps of this. Let that sink in. And then we're gonna be taking our bronzer, and this one is from Fenty Beauty. It's called Mocha Mami in number 8. I have devoured this. It's literally hit pan. Yeah, it's hit pan, so I love this color. I would say that it's a bit too orange on me. I would like something a little bit more muted. Still orange, but kind of on the cool, like dial it towards the cooler side than the warmer side. That's what I would prefer. And I'm still trying to find the perfect one for me. Actually, maybe we could use the Easy Bake and Snatched as a, no, I think this is too light. If you look at the difference, so yeah, no, this can't be my contour. I feel like this is my all over the face powder, which it is. So now, okay, we're going in with the Fenty Beauty Mocha Mami. Sticking with the brush logic, we're using a blush brush to apply the contour powder. And I'm just going in circular motions into the cheek, into the hairline, sorry, and just dotting the contour powder or the bronzer into my hairline. So then I'm going to be using this blush from Kaya. It's called Trouble Gum, and it's like a powdery baby girl pink. And you just want to smile and just apply it upwards. And then the final step of my full coverage base is going to be my Charlotte Tilbury with my powder puff. I'm just taking a bit from pan and just aligning it, basically contouring my nose again, but going back in under my eye. Like so. Extra coverage, you know? And this really helps with creasing and also having a fuller coverage under your eye. And also if you like a really highlighted look, this would definitely be the step you don't want to miss. And then the final part is that you want to blend everything in together. As you can see, you can tell where my contour ends and where my concealer starts on my forehead. Things aren't really meshing together. So what I love to do is I love to use an all over face powder to just blend everything in and to marinate everything. So I'm going in with this one from NYX. It's the Can't Stop, Won't Stop massifying powder in the color Caramel. So I'm just taking that and blending everything in together and making it look more seamless, like so. Okay, so this is my base. I'm gonna zoom you guys in. So this is my base. It freaking eats, I know that. So this is my base right now and I'm so in love with it. Like, the base is basing. I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup and then I'm gonna come back and show you guys the final look. So this is how the final makeup looks. I have applied setting spray and set all my makeup, and also I put some lashes on. I made a TikTok video about applying these single lashes. Make sure you guys check it out. I'll put my TikTok link in the description bar below. But yeah, this is the full coverage. Like, guys, I am loving how this looks. I'm gonna zoom you in. So this is how it's looking. It looks so delectable. I'm so here for it. So yeah, that was my full coverage routine. If you're suffering from acne, scarring and hyperpigmentation, let me know if you have any questions down below. And yeah, make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I'll definitely see you guys in the next one. Mwah. Bye.